Think about the last time you promised yourself just one more episode, and suddenly it was 3 a.m. You weren't lacking discipline, your brain was being hacked. Contrast that with the last time you walked into an interview. You've prepped for hours, you have the right data, and yet, within 30 seconds, the hiring manager's eyes glaze over. You might tell yourself you aren't charismatic enough, or that you aren't a natural speaker. In reality, you are failing to speak the biological language of the human nervous system. This disconnect is solved by a quirk in our neural circuitry, discovered by a Soviet psychologist in the 1920s. It is called the Zeigarnik effect. If you learn to use it, you will stop being ignored. But to use it, you have to stop doing what feels natural. Mastering this historical glitch is the difference between screaming into a void and commanding magnetic attention in any room. Most professional communication is built on over-preparation. You walk in and deliver all the data, the flawless resume, and every answer immediately. This creates a closed circle. Neurologically, it tells the listener's brain it has all the information it needs, signaling the nervous system to shut down. To maintain engagement, you must break the circle, forcing the brain to stay active by withholding the expected resolution. Delivering immediate answers makes you forgettable. Influence requires engineering unresolved tension. The Zeigarnik effect works because the brain processes an incomplete task or pattern as an unsolved problem. It remains active in your neural circuitry until it is resolved. Because the brain craves closure like it craves oxygen, top-tier retention is really just a game of wanting to know what happens next. You open a loop, hold the tension, and then open another. Look at elite creators like MrBeast. The identity of the situation and the extreme stakes are established in the first 10 seconds. They make the viewer identify a situation that requires resolution before the video even begins. To use this in an interview, stop starting with your graduation date or degree. Those are closed loops that allow the interviewer to tune out. Start with the pain point. Tell them you spent 48 hours finding the exact bottleneck in their Q3 marketing drop-off, and that you brought the framework to fix it. By leading with the unsolved problem, you trap the listener's brain. They cannot comfortably end the conversation until they know what that bottleneck is. Step 2 is creating visual tension. This follows the elite storytelling rule of showing rather than telling to create an immediate cliffhanger. In your next presentation, replace your bulleted list with a single, alarming red number on a black slide. Stay silent for 3 seconds. That silence forces the audience's brains to scramble for meaning. By the time you explain that the number represents the revenue you're losing, they are primed to demand your solution. You then deepen this tension using the principle of commitment bias. Force your audience to answer a question in their own heads before you show them the data. Ask your boss to guess the highest converting demographic. The moment they guess, they have invested cognitive effort. They have a psychological sunk cost in the answer, locking their focus until you provide the closure they just paid for. When you string these open loops together, you guide the listener through a neurological journey. And when you finally deliver the insight, when you finally close those loops, the brain provides a reward. Resolving engineered cognitive tension triggers a release of oxytocin and dopamine. This is the biological basis of an aha moment. This chemical response changes how you are perceived. When you are the one facilitating these insights, the listener's brain associates your presence with a sense of clarity and resolution. Your input becomes a source of biological satisfaction for the room. Stop drawing closed circles. Go to the comments right now and write one open-loop question you can ask in your next meeting to hook the room. Communicate